Kiwi.
102. The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Kiwi.
Joining me now in the Kiwi studio, Josephine Costain joining me to play a wee song in the Kiwi studio. Hello to you, Josephine.
Hello.
And I've got to say, where have you been? Because I've just played Epsilon Blue just before.
Oh, okay, cool.
You Are a Star.
Yep.
And it's a track that I played for many, many years on the radio.
Oh, nice one.
And the vocalist, Josephine, has been a bit of a mystery.
I've been like a bamboo tree growing my roots down,
Yeah.
so that I can come up mighty and strong
Yeah.
and withstand the wind.
You've been in Nashville though, haven't you?
I did go to Nashville last year.
Yeah. Just for a recording, or?
Well, I did a tour of the US, and my objective of going there was to study songwriting, which I did at Berklee College in Boston and another school in Colorado. Nashville was about co-writing and just, I guess, checking out what this musical history of Nashville is. And it's quite interesting that it's so unassuming. Like, you know, it's got this huge history of all these recording artists. And
Yeah.
you show up there and it's this leafy kind of suburban street with bungalow houses, which is Music Row. And you're like, oh, wow, it's not.
And it's
very, very humble.
It's where all these amazing records have been made.
That's right, and like you know, the Bluebirds, this tiny little, you know, cafe, restaurant, bar place, which is this musical history. You know, everyone's played, but it's just this tiny little place on the, you know, heading out of the city.
Mm.
So yeah.
I mean, so that track you did with Epsilon Blue years ago. I mean, that was a while ago now.
Sure.
And you're only just sort of getting the solo thing
I was doing
underway.
the solo thing before then, and then I went and did a band thing, and then I have been, I guess, living and doing music on the side. I went to Israel 5 years ago and did a tour there and put an album out for that tour. So I've been growing as an artist. For me, I guess it's been
doing it in quiet, kind of.
Yeah, well, I guess I haven't just been, you know, getting on the radio or making that my objective. For me, it's been important to grow as an artist and, you know, really hone my skills. And I think it's a confidence thing as well. You know, what's happened for me in the last couple of years, I've been just intently studying the craft of songwriting, and I think I've got a really, you know, good understanding of that craft now. And I liken it to developing your left and your right brain.
Mm.
So, like, I'm really right brain dominated, I'm left-handed, I'm really creative, it's very intuitive. But I wouldn't have been able to explain to you where that came from a couple of years ago, or
right.
how you do that. And now I've grown that other part. So I think for me, this has never been about sex, drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's been about, you know, discovering who I am and developing as an artist.
Sounds like a spiritual thing.
I think life is in all its entity is spiritual. Just depends on whether you're aware of that or not, or conscious to it.
And with your music, where did the influences come from? Is it a country type influence?
No, I'm not a country artist. Although I grew up with country music, and I was quite against it. And you know, I was listening to Madonna and Prince, and you know, Joan Jett and Debbie Harry when I was a kid, and that was, it's interesting because I've been looking at the Pretenders and Debbie Harry and, you know, listening to lots of Grace Jones and Talking Heads, and it's funny how you end up listening to music that you grew up with as a child, and how that's just got into you and you didn't even, you know, realise it.
I've noticed that even with myself, it's sort of returning to those very old records from the 80s recently. Just it's sort of crept back in.
Yeah, well, there's something really substantial with that music, that it was a real band making, you know, with great songs, and they've stood the test of time for a reason. So I've been sort of looking at those artists, and Pat Benatar, and just really strong female vocalists, and I've gone on lots, you know, done, you know, soul and sung jazz and world music and lots of different stuff, and now I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do, and having fun with it.
Well, you're just wrapping up a nationwide tour. You've been all over the place, from Wanganui, Queenstown, Christchurch, Littleton, Picton, all over the show, and you're finishing up in Auckland.
Yes.
On April the 3rd, the Saturday evening at Toto.
Yes.
How's the tour gone?
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun to travel around New Zealand, and it's such a beautiful country, and really enjoying the South Island. People have been very welcoming, and have I've felt like I've been really well received. And it was a great opportunity to sort of test out my songs and see which ones people were connecting with, how they responded, and that would sort of give me an indication of which ones to go in the studio and cut.
Was it almost like a constant introduction, like constantly sort of introducing yourself to audiences?
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising in some places. I'm like, wow, I've got friends in Dunedin, or I've got friends in Christchurch, because people would show up, and that was really cool. And like random, back from Form 1 or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, what happened to you?
It's like real life Facebook. Hey.
Oh yeah, we're not really officially friends until it's Facebook, are we?
Hey, well, you brought in your guitar. I'd love to hear a song.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to play the song that inspired me to name my tour, Serpentine. And the song is about having to die to a part of yourself so that you can actually be free. And some people kind of see it as a bit of a dark song, but essentially it's actually about letting go of things that aren't real to become free.
Choice. Josephine Costain playing live in the Kiwi studio.
I went looking for myself in the rain. I went looking for myself in the pain. I got caught up in a spider's web. All my friends thought that I was good as dead. I died to myself. I died to myself. I went looking for a needle in a stone. I went looking for love to keep me warm. I was mesmerized by his big brain. All my efforts to control were in vain. I died to myself. I died to myself. Serpentine, you're ringing in my ears. Smash these walls, rip out the heart of fear. Serpentine, the end is coming near. And wipe my face and wash away these years, these tears, and I died to myself. I died to myself, to myself, to myself. I died to myself, to
Wow. Josephine Costain live in the Kiwi studio this morning. And that's also off an album coming out soon.
That's right, but you're right about the heat in here, because I just realised my guitar went out of tune while we were
the aircon plays havoc, but musicians always say that, and I go, I didn't notice.
Oh, that's good, because
I never noticed.
No, my guitar's out of tune.
Sounded absolutely great. So look out for the album Serpentine, or is it the tour called Serpentine?
That was a tour with Serpentine, then the single coming out in the next sort of month or so is Speedway.
Great.
And an album due out later this year.
We look forward to that. And don't forget, if you're in Auckland City this weekend, for Easter weekend, check her out playing at Toto, April the 3rd, Saturday night from 9 p.m. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks so much.